Hey guys, it's your girl Luna. I want to welcome you back to my second life. And we're going to be having a two-part series of me showing you how you can make some custom items. I'm going to be showing you in this first part how to make your custom AO. Your AO is pertaining to your stances like I'm doing right now. Our avatar is in a breathing stance, and then I have multiple ones where she changes positions. It's also walking, flying, swimming, so different type of body animations, because when you start out with Second Life, you really just have everything very basic. It's very choppy and just not pleasant. I'm going to show you how you can get a custom AO to give you your own type of movements, down to even typing animations. Now, first, I will put the link to the marketplace. You can go over to the marketplace and get this specific AO that we will be using to edit for only 1 Linden. It is that cheap. Even a beginner can get 1 Linden pretty quickly, and you can start getting your AOs. So we are at this location at Tutti Bento and Mocap Animations. I'm going to show you, this is where I got mine from, but there are a couple other places. I will put their slurs down below. For the sake of the video, we're just going to show you them from here, and I'll show you how to get those in, but I will put other places that you're more than welcome to go to depending on what you like and what you're looking for. So we're going to go ahead and walk on in. As you can see, this is my current walk that I have. I will go into detail on how you can change all of that when we get going. But when you first walk in, there are a lot of different options you can go. What I like about this location is that it actually has animations per style. So this one is delicate and a delicate girl. This one is enchanted beauty. Then we have a sexy infant terrible, I don't really know what that is, but it's sexy things. This is charismatic and magnetic, and then we have, there's even kids AOs back here, and there's also men's on the other side, and those have different styles and poses as well. So what you want to do is kind of just find a starting point of what kind of style that you may want. If you know you have a kind of avatar backstory that's really sexy and you want to go with that, then we can start there. So let's go ahead and get on our stand. So what you'll want to do is, depending on what viewer you're on, you'll want to pose on it. I am going to right click and try it. I am on Black Dragon. So when you get on your post stand, what's going to happen here, wherever it's at is where it's going to start you off at. So right now, this is stand number 2. We can go left or right. This is stand number 1. So you just need to look at the change in the animations and you decide what you want. These are individual animations. So if you want to buy them individually, this is the best way to go. I don't think they offer them in packs. This way you can pick and choose. If you want a charismatic walk, but you want a sexy sit or something different, you can mix it up as much as you want. So you can go through, I mainly want to get to the walks here. But they have jumps, they have flies, and I have a purse in my hand too. So let's actually get rid of this purse so we can see a little bit more of the animations. That's a jump, that's a fall. This is a crouch. I actually do have that crouch. Then you have a sit, where you sit on items that possibly don't have a sit animation. And then it has a mirror image, and you have different sits there. You also, okay, so this is the walks. So this is one of the walks that you can get if you want to see it from the side. This is another walk that you can get. And then it just keeps going. Some of them are similar. I don't know why. I really love that one. I love the extra hand movement in that walk, and then it ends up going to just a normal kind of like sassy walk. But yeah, go through these animations and decide what you want. They have one for swimming, floating when you're in the water, swimming up, swimming down, and then you get back to your stands. And then, like I said, they also have different flies and hovers. A different type that you can do when you're typing in nearby chat. So you decide how many you want. Like I said, you can have more than one in an AO. If you want to have more than one option starting out, if you just want one of each, then stick with just one of each. When you decide which one you want, You will click on the stand and you will hit pay. These here at Tutti, most of them are between 20 and 85 Linden. I think I've seen one or two at 90, but I think that's a pretty good price. Some of them, like I said, I saw some at 20 Linden and I went ahead and got them. I didn't, especially the ones if I really, really liked them, I went ahead and got them, especially at 20 Linden. But when you get them, they will come to you and then you'll be able to take off from there to get your AO started. So once you have the AOs that you have picked out, if you don't own land, you'll want to go to a sandbox. There is a beginner sandbox that you can go to, and sometimes when you start off as in Second Life, they start you off in a sandbox area, but there is one. I can put a slur down below. If I forget, please comment down below. I can put a beginner sandbox down there to kind of show you where you need to go, because you will have to drag some items out of your inventory to get things started. So you already bought the AO that you'll need from the marketplace. You just came here and got your animations. Everything should be sitting in your inventory. And let's go ahead and head on to a sandbox and I can show you how to get everything in your AO so you can get started. Okay, so we have our VA Vista Animations AO HUD. What you're going to do, the next steps we're going to be doing are very, very important of deciding how you want your AO to run and everything like that. So we are currently at an open sandbox. So you'll want to go into your folder here. And as you can see, this is our Vista animations. These are ones that I've already, that's one that I've already done. And this is the original. And they give you, of course, the animation or the landmark and a couple other things. And I got a free dress with it. So that was nice. But what we want, this thing right here, the Vista animations female basic mocap AO. And FYI, they do have one for men that is different. So be sure to check that out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop this to the ground. All I did was click on it, and then I click and hold my mouse, and then I just put it on the ground. It is down here. If you're like me, for some reason, I have to like see it next to me. It is what it is. But if you want it closer, this is what it looks like when it's drug on the ground. That doesn't matter. What we want to do is actually have the item of what's inside of it. So while we're hovering over it, whether it doesn't matter where you click on it, right click and you'll want to do edit. And then the build tools options are going to come up. We're going to go over to the contents tab. This is where the HUD already has animations in it. Now, this HUD does naturally come with animations. If you don't want them, then you need to delete them. So I'm going to take off my AO and we're going to put the one on that came with this. That came with what you bought. So currently this AO that's in here, this is one of the stands that it has. And then if you wanted to check out the walks, this is one of the walks that comes with it. And then you could hit this little arrow over here and go to the next stance. I think it only has one. Oh, it has two walks. It has this walk. And then you could check out the different stances if you want to see what the sit is. That's the sit that comes with it. So if you wanted to see what came in the HUD and keep that, that's perfectly fine. But we want to edit it completely, like we want all of our own stuff. And that's what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and keep my AO off. And we're just going to work on this one. So we're going to right click, edit this again. We're going to go over to the contents tab. So we want all of these animations to go away. That's what we want. We don't want to use any of them. Depending on which viewer you're on, your animations images are going to look very different. But I know what my animations are, and that's what I want to get rid of. So we are going to click, hold down Control, and we're just going to click on the animations. When I hold down Control, it gets rid of all of the animations, but not everything that's there. And then I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. Yes, I want to delete. Then all of this extra stuff can stay, especially the ZHAO. Those need to stay. Now, you will have note cards that originally come in the first one. This one is called Danger Girl. This one is called Good Girl. Now, you can keep them or you can delete them. I personally deleted them because I want this AO to just be what I put into it. These note cards are different folders of walks. Now, if you happen to have a multi-use avatar, say you have your everyday avatar that you want to have certain animations with, and you don't want to make another AO, you can put all of your AOs into one AO instead of having multiple ones. That's what the note cards are for. So say I wanted to copy this note card, I could highlight all of this, right click, copy, make a new note card, and then drag it into here, and then I can edit from there. But for the sake of this, we are going to do one AO and one folder. If you wanted to have, like, and I have an idea of, I want to have a Halloween character, but I want them to have a different type of walk, a different type of run, that brings it spooky. I would name one maybe Halloween, and then I would have my everyday avatar. And then when you load it into the AO, you can hit load, and then you can choose which walk AO that you mainly want to use. So I think it's a really good feature. It also keeps your inventory from getting cluttered, and you have an AO folder that has 5 different AOs when you can just put them all into one. But for the sake of this video, like I said, we're just going to use the ones that we have. So I'm going to get rid of Danger Girl and Good Girl, and we're going to keep the default. So we got rid of the animations. We got rid of the folders the note cards we don't need. We need to go into the default, and you're going to scroll down until you see this list: standing, walking, sitting, ground. These are all of your AOs that you need to get. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to delete every animation up to the bracket. That is very important. Once you hit that bracket, you want to delete it. You do not want to go past that bracket, and I will explain why. So the ones that it comes with, there's not a lot in here, but we're going to go ahead and delete them. So this is a little bit of coding history. Because of the standing AO, as you can see, you see how it doesn't look like the walking one, that bracket's down here because there was a lot of them. We are going to take it back, but you see how it still does not match the walking. There needs to be a space, or it's not gonna read it correctly. I know this because I did it, and it would not read my standing AO, so therefore none of the AOs were working. I went back in the note card because the nearby chat will tell you, it'll give you some type of message, but in a sense it says standing AO is not recognizable, go back and fix it. I went in and I noticed that there has to be a space in between your last letter and that bracket, or it will not read. So when I got rid of that line, it brought it back, and I needed to come back, hit the space, hit save, and then it was able to work. So we're going to leave this open. The next part is going to be very, very tedious, and a lot of it is going to be off of your memory. We're going to go back to our inventory. You remember all of those animations that we got? Depending on how you do this could be very easy for you, or it could be very time consuming for you. I learned very quickly what each of the codes on these mean for these animations. So these are all the animations that I had got. No, I did not physically buy all of those. When you are at the animation store at 2D, they give you more than one animation. Some of them only give you one, some of you give you 2 or 3. The reason behind that, as you can see, this is my ground sit. It says G sit BRL for medium. This one says G sit BRL for medium, PR4, PR3. I've noticed that the animations actually are different heights. So it is actually helping you decide which animation is best for your avatar. As you can see, that one's a little bit higher off the ground compared to if I do this one. I noticed that the other day when I was doing this. So really when you double click them, you'll get a box that pops up and you can play in a world or locally. It doesn't matter. You'll see the both of them. So you see how the G-Sit tall PR3 is lower than the G-Sit BR small PR3. So it just depends. Like this one is sitting a little bit higher on the ground. If I were to go to this one, it sits lower on the ground. So what I did with this is I went through and looked at the animations and I decided, okay, I want this BR4 medium PR. What I did was I stuck this over here and then I just kept it there because I need to know, I need to drag this one over here and I don't want to lose it. A second thing I would suggest, if you know the animations that you want for walking, standing, crouching, and you can open this note card anytime and write down these if you want to, so you know what animations to go by. If you know you don't care about falling, then don't write down you're looking for a falling one. If you know you want hovering, jumping, all of that, write those down. And then you can make a folder in your inventory that already organizes them so you don't have to do this step. So it just depends on how tedious you are and what you decide to do. So we're going to keep this one open. This is the ground sit that we want. Let's say this is the swimming one that we want. That's a swimming down. I'm going to go through and just grab a couple of different ones simply because I've already done this and I just need to show you the basics of what things look like. This is a fly up, so we're going to keep that one. Sorry, my dogs are barking at something. This is a fly down. But like I said, when you do this, look at the different options and decide for you what you want to do. I'm just going to pick some stuff really, really fast so we can get through for the sake of the video. Here is one of our walks. And I'll actually do 2 walks so you can see the difference in them and how you put them in if you want to have 2 options. I think... I just gotta find my other walk. Okay, so we have some animations here that we want to do. I specifically don't like static standing animations, so I'm actually going to do a breathing animation. You know when I showed you where she was standing there and it looks like she was breathing? The breathing animation is also just a plain standing, okay? So whether you have a static standing or you have a breathing standing or you have a movement. Have you ever seen avatars where they're not moving? Well, they're not walking, but maybe they're spinning. They're taking a few steps, kind of like when you stand and you might have some movement. All of those count as standing. I can also put down below where I get my breathing animations from, but I also keep track of them on the 60 to 90 Linden sale. That is where I personally got mine. And like I said, I got mine from Lyrium. This is the Tori animation. So I have different breathing stances. This is one, and then that is one as well. So we're going to use these for our standing because I just like those. So whether you have a static one or you have one that is slightly moving or you have a breathing one like I do. So what we want to do is we want to go through, and actually I'm going to start with the breathing one since I was already there. When you have the animation that you have, we saved these over here for a reason. So this one is the Lyrium Tori breathing 3P3. We need to take that one. This is the Lyrium Tori breathing 3P3. You'll want to right click, rename. You're going to right click again while it's highlighted and we're going to copy. We don't want to cut. We want to copy. So now we need to go back to our note card. This is a standing one. So we're going to click on it till we see our blinking cursor. We're going to Control and V, or you're going to right click and paste. I will do that again. So we want the next one. Once you have one in here, you can move on to the next one. But say you want to add 2 animations. In this case, we do have 2 animations. So in that next to the standing one, there's no spaces. As you can see, there's no spaces. We're going to click we're going to shift and hit our line button. This is the key next to your brackets. Shift and you'll have a straight bar line. And we're going to go to our second breathing pose, which is the Tori breathing 2 P3. So we need the Tori breathing 2 P3. Right click, rename, copy. Right after our bracket, we're going to right paste. And then we now have 2 animations. I personally go ahead and get rid of these. I hit save, and then we have to drag and drop these over. So this is my 2P3. Drag it over to your contents, because you still should be right-clicked and edit on your AO HUD. So if you happen to accidentally exit out of this, go back over to your AO HUD, right-click edit, and then make sure your contents is here. That breathing animation is now in there, but we also need the second one. It has to be the exact one or will not be able to read it. The Tori breathing 3 P3, right click, drag it over, and how do you know it's in there? You should see it, and your contents item is going to go up. We went from 8 items to 9 items. So now, what are we going to do? We're going to go through and do this with all of our items. This is why I said if you bought a lot like me in one time, you want to have some type of idea of what everything is. And again, if you don't know what it is, you can click on it and play it in a world so you can see what your avatar is doing. So then you're like, oh, this one is a fly one. But usually if you read them, you can kind of get an idea of what those items are. So since I went through and I still haven't organized these, we need the TTSN CN Fly PR4. And I got lucky. It is actually right here. So we're going to right click, rename, copy, and then we're going to go down and find our flying, which there's falling, flying down, flying up, and then there's flying. I like to control V. I'm going to hit save, and then I'm going to drag and drop this over, and boom. You're going to do this with all of the animations that you would like. I'll go ahead and add a couple more. Let's do the walk one so you can remember how to do that. We'll get rid of this one. We'll do our CMS walk 4P3. All right, so this is a walk. So now we're going to go down to our walking, and we're going to add 2 walks. We're going to shift, add that bar. I'm going to go ahead and save. And then me personally, I'm going to go ahead and drag that one over so that one's done and out of the way. And then we're going to go to our second walk, which is our walk 2P3, which I kind of have these memorized, kind of where they are in my inventory, even though I haven't organized them that well. All right, that is our second one. Right click, rename, copy, go back down to our walk. We already have our bar there, so control V or right click and paste. Go ahead, hit save. Let's get rid of that, and then let's drag and drop this over. All right, so we have a couple of animations in. Like I said, you will continue to do this completely. Make sure you hit save. All right, so once this is saved, if you wanted to rename this, you could. The folder is still called default. You can rename it or not. I didn't rename mine. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I just chose not to. We're going to exit out of our building tools, and then we're going to right click on our AO that we have sitting out here that we've been editing. We're going to right click, and we are going to take that. Now, I like to be in my recent folder. And my recent folder always pulls up things that I've already pulled out. I did not rename this AO, but if you wanted to rename it, you could just drag and drop it, right click, edit, and go to your general tab, and then you can do testing AO. I meant to show you this before and I completely forgot. But right here, when you're in the content, if you want to rename it, anything, just go back up to your general tab and you can do anything that you want in testing for YouTube. Even if do whatever you want. It's your choice. So then we'll go ahead, right click, right click and take. Of course, it will make another copy every time you drag and drop it. So every time you drag it and drop it and you take it back, it's going to make another copy. So I don't want this one anymore because we already renamed it. So we're just going to do it now. So depending on what viewer you're on, I don't know if every viewer has this capability of double tapping. If not, if you're not on a viewer that does double tap to attach, what you want to do is right click, and then you'll want to go down to attach HUD. We're going to attach it to the bottom right this time. So once you attach it, what it's doing is you'll probably get a script error saying it can't find this, can't find that. It's just loading up and trying to attach it. I'm going to move this so you can see it a little bit better. Right click, edit. So you can kind of see the buttons I'm pushing. So as you can see, my AO says it's on, but it's not, she's not doing any of the things that I put in there. You have to load up your AO. This little button underneath the ground sit is like a little box. What you're going to click on that. When this pops up, you're going to hit load. This is where those note cards are going to come in. If you had different note cards with different animations, with different walks, this is where you would get the chance to pick which one you would want. That's why I said I think putting walks in one AO is actually handy compared to having 5 or 6 AOs in your inventory and cluttering up space. So if we were to have other ones, we could click them, but we only have our default one, so we're going to load our default as we keep getting error codes. If you want to turn it off and turn it back on, you're more than happy to. We're going to let this load up. And it's trying to go through all the things right now. There we go. Once it starts loading and doing its thing, you'll start getting messages in your nearby chat as well. I'm getting hit up by all the things and all the people. As I hit the load button, it is telling me it's loading my note card. There's 4 animation entries. We only put 4 in there at the time. And it tells you when it's finished reading. So it's going through all of those things. So now, as you can see, the AOs were put in correctly. She is already doing her standing breathing pose. If you wanted to go through them, that's what this top button is, this button with the green arrow. You can have her change her breathing animations. Right now we have the 2 in there, or whatever standing animation is. Your nearby chat will tell you what's going on. This will automatically switch between the 2 on its own as well. All right, so you remember those 2 walks that we added, right? This is our first walk that we added. Now let's say that we want to go ahead and start using that second walk. This walk right next to the guy, the person sitting there with the arrow, we're going to click that, and then we're going to get to choose. So we're most likely going to, our current walk, so it tells us what our current walk is. We want to do the CMS walk 4, so we'll hit 2, and now we're going to switch walks. So again, if you can't choose between multiple walks and you just want to add them all, you have this option, and then you can switch between the 2 that easily in between mid-walk if you would like. Now, if we would have added a fly, we would have a fly emotion, a jump one. If you want to sit on the ground, that would be the sit. We didn't add a sit. And then all of these different buttons right here. You can get the note card if you want to. I usually just use what I need. If you had more than one sit, pretty much if you have more than one ground sit, you can choose between which ground sits you want. If you have more than one chair sit, the same thing with the walk. That's what those are for, so it knows which one you're doing. If you're just standing here, that's what the sit anywhere would do. It would make you sit on the floor. If you don't want this HUD all up in the way, this little red arrow right here makes it smaller, and so it'll go over here in the corner, because that's where I attach the HUD to. And then to turn it off, you would just click the power button, and then you're back to basics, turn it on, and then you have that sexy AO that you customized. I hope you guys had fun checking out this video. I hope this was very helpful and very visual for you to make your own custom types of AOs, as it can make or break the type of avatar that you like, and also having something different that no one else has. There's so many animations out there that it is not exactly impossible, but the chances are pretty high that no one else is going to have the same combination as you, or if you just watch this video and just copied all the things that I did in my animations. But no matter what, you make the custom type of AO that you want for your avatar. And like I said, I will put the marketplace listing down where you can get this AO. I will put the slurs for the 2 locations that I got, and I'll put down some other locations where you can get whether standing, which is static, breathing, and different types of poses, or you may have some on your own, and just have fun with it and make it work. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for checking out this video. Hopefully that you can show off some of your own custom AOs and have a little bit more fun with your avatar on Second Life. So don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos. And this is Luna, Galaxy out.